Hello and welcome to Flory Models. Here we are with you for our Friday roundup show on the 27th of January 2023. A really busy week this week. Lots of things been going on. Been working very hard on the F15. We had an auction this week. We had, obviously Matt did his vlogs as well. 2 parts of the F15 went up. Yeah, loads of it. Anyway, all started on Monday. We had part 4 of the F15 build going up. Some nice little bits down in here. So we're talking about making, I wouldn't say a seamless intake, but pretty much what you need. You don't need to go much further because these are buried quite deep down in the engines of the F15. So we went about that one, getting that one sorted out. Then we were talking about obviously colouring the inside of the engines, trying to get that greeny hue to the flame holder for the afterburners, things like that, and then getting those installed into it. Then we were looking at the gun. We wanted to upgrade it a little bit, so we did a bit of riveting detail in there and a few bits and pieces, and we opened up the grille because obviously Tamiya have this molded solid where it is an actual grille, so lots of sanding, but well worth it because the detail really does pop with it. So we got that one opened up, ready to go through as well. So really that was you on Monday. So members, you can go off now and you can see that one. Tuesday, it was our little vlog show that me and Matt do. So this was the not quite a podcast one. Obviously, basically, it's just a relaxed, informal chat about the hobby and other things generally. Yeah, if you ever want to join us, members, you can join us. We are available every other Tuesday, and we do it just for an hour, just really a bit of a kickback. And it's great because we interact with you guys. You can join in with the chat. We have the live chat room on as well, and just generally just going through. And so it might be like what we're up to at the moment, this week's sort of new releases, anything that's sort of in the interest and sparking a little bit of chat. So that's the one where we do with that one. Wednesday, we had the PM show. Was going through that one. Obviously, usual thing with the PM show, it's tied in with the PM store. So it's all the latest kit releases. Obviously, a lot of the pre-orders that we do, what's coming down the road, what's new, and just generally talking about the hobby, what's going on, what we're hoping for, and what we're getting excited about with kits and things like that as well. So if you want to join in for that one, it's about an hour long. Anybody can watch that one. It is a free to watch video and is up on the site right now. Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon, I put these up. Matt's been really busy. He's got his vlog, so obviously he's doing his KT ambulance there. That's the Airfix one, and having some fun with that one. And I think he's working with his Albatross, his World War I German fighter. And generally talking about some of the books, the various things that's going on with him, and a bit of a catch up with what he's doing over at the PM store as well, and various things he's getting in from that. So if you want to have a look at that one, members, you can catch up with that one. And then to tie in with that one, we've got part 1 of the Airfix KT ambulance as well. That is up. So it's a full video build that Matt's doing. So members, if you want to see that one, you can click on there. Also, I think if you pop along to the actual video builds area, hopefully when we get part 2 up there, we'll get a section set up for it for the actual build thread as he's going through with all of those. Then we had just turn that down a bit. So and it's got the rocket pod. There we go. We had our auction. We do an auction every couple of months. So some of this is ex-kit reviews. Some of it might be slightly damaged boxes, or just some various kits that we've put up. We have 40 lots over the course of the evening, and generally it's just a bit of fun, so you can actually sit back, relax, have a drink and a giggle, and we make it as light-hearted and as non-serious, I think you can call it, as possible for this one. And again, this is just for members can bid on kits, and normally they go for silly prices, and last night some really did go very, very low prices as well. So but anyway, it's our little way of giving back and having a giggle as we make our way on with this one. And again, if you haven't seen them before, we have like a countdown client timer. You can bid live with us, and then obviously we go through the motions of it like that. So we have our little countdown. But if you've ever seen any of our videos for this, we always have a proper giggle with this and a bit of a laugh, and normally we have a few drinks and some snacks and various things going on as well. So yes, there we go. 10 seconds. Oh, wrong one. That's it, and I try and do things with sounds and stuff like that, and it never works out. There we go. Okay, right. Oh, I need to stop that, otherwise it's going to be making funny noises. There we go. And then that brings you basically up to today as well. So I've got part 5 of the F15 up with you as well. And again, you know, I know some people get bored when you're just doing construction and it's sanding and filling. But, you know, it's one of those areas where you can't get away from doing it. So I might as well film it as I'm going through the motions and showing about it. So really on this one, it's talking about cleanup. So the F-15s have these nasty seam lines running down the sides. We talk about getting rid of those. We talk about detailing and fitting that gun, because that's not straightforward. And then screwing it together, which, to be honest, isn't straightforward either, because the screws are a right pain to get going. Then we get the wings together and sorted out, and then again, here we go, clean up. And again, one of my favorites of cleaning up is not to sort of break out the filler and obviously things. If it's just a small little line like you see down in here, I tend to scrape clean. I just find it so quick and easy, and it's nice, you know, especially on flat surfaces as well, to do it. So we go through the motions of doing that one down in there. And as I said, there is no panel line on the real thing, so I've got some references we go through. Then we try and get the wings on. So the wings themselves, not very straightforward. They're definitely an easier design to do than these days, but say it's a little bit older, this kit, so we've got to screw them in, lock them in, and make them as seamless as possible. There's a few little tips and tricks how to get this to happen. So one of my favorites is to spot weld, as I call it, with a little bit of super glue. So you just tack it in place with a bit of super glue so it's got enough to hold it down and make it level and things, and then you can just come along with normal glue afterwards just to weld it up and give it a proper strong seal and everything, and that gets rid of the use of obviously tons of filler to go through. But again, a little bit of sanding, things like that as well in there. You can blend those all in, but it isn't without filler. So to make it as seamless as we possibly can, because let's face it, it's the top half of an F-15, you're going to be seeing it. So we do get the filler out just to make sure we've got nothing left in there at all. And again, there's a slight one down the bottom to take care of. So a little bit of scrape cleaning again, that gets rid of that one. Tiny bit of filler down in there, and we are good to go with it. And there we go. That gets us bang up to date really with that one. And as you can see down in here, she is technically all done. I'm a little bit ahead of you because obviously there's a part going up on Monday. So the engines are all done. And to be honest, considering, you know, again, their age and various things, they are very nicely detailed. So they're ready. They can be fitted in once we get ready for painting. Happy with all the seams. I've checked it right the way through. We're all good to go. So really this one, we're pretty much ready for primer. So that'll be my thing over the weekend and on Monday, is to actually get this thing into primer. And then obviously once we've got the primer on, we can start getting that brown onto it as well. So it's two-tone tan on this one because we're doing the Desert Aggressor. So it should be a lot of fun with it. But again, everything's done. All the parts are technically done. I've got the radars done down in here. We've got obviously the nozzles done. The pylons are done. The fuel tanks are done. Absolutely everything is ready to go. But just for ease of, you know, really doing primer work and painting, it's easier to do this somewhat in bits. So what we'll do is we won't put the nose on yet. We won't put the nozzles on. We won't put the tailplanes on or anything. We will do those obviously all separately and then bring it together at the end. But considering this kit is, well, showing our age a little bit now, it's coming up for 30 years old. It is a really, really nice kit. It still goes together very, very well. And lots of people have been asking about it. Obviously, trying to get the C version in the UK can be quite difficult. The fighter version like this. We can get the bomber with PM. So if you want to get one, just shout with PM. We don't carry them in stock because obviously they're big, old, expensive kits. But if you do fancy one, you can get like the Mud Hen, the two-seater, the bomber, the Echo. That's no problem at all. So if you do fancy a bit of a punt at that one, you can. We got these in as a special order just over a couple of years ago now. And I got one now. A lot of the members did as well. So that's why we're taking care and building it. But hopefully by the end of next week, we should be painted and deckled and really looking forward to getting into the weathering and stuff like that. So yeah, no, it's coming along very, very nice. So the next part coming up talks about nozzles and doing some detailed work and just some tidy up as well, getting really ready for getting it into primer. But I'm quite excited about getting it into primer because again, I'm going to be using the AK third gen acrylics primer, which I haven't used an acrylic primer now for probably 3 or 4 years. So yeah, so we're going to give this a good mix, and this will be our test bed, which will make part of the Tuesday show as well, where we'll be doing a full-on test with this because we're using it in anger. So if members, if you want to keep an eye out for that one, and it'll make its way out onto free to watch as well at some point. So looking forward to having a go with that, because I say I haven't used anything acrylic for a couple of years now, so it's nice to go back to using acrylics right the way forward on this one. Moving over on to kit reviews. So this week I've only got one done. I've got lots to do, as you can see behind me, but we did have a look at the Tacom's Jeep. I know they call it the quarter-ton vehicle and all the rest of it, but it's still a Jeep. And to be honest, it's a little bit simple because of its scale. When you go up in scale into, like, you know, obviously 16th scale, things like that, you could do with adding a little bit more detail. So I think a little bit of wiring down in there, you know, perhaps especially in the engine, if you can having that shown and a few little details in there can really make it. But some of the nice touches of the seats. So you got the fabric effect onto the seats, things like that. That's actually very nice with this particular kit. But generally, just the quality of the moulding, the usual bits and pieces on this, very nice. Would be nice to see a little bit of weight on wheels and a little bit of destruction, shall we say, on the tyres and things like that. I think would look nice. And again, I pointed out I'd like to have seen a separate sort of gun shroud really for the 50. I think at this scale, you want it to be nicely detailed. The back end looks quite nice. It's just the front end. So, but I am reliably informed there's an aftermarket barrel set with the shroud available or coming for this one shortly. So that's definitely a worthy upgrade to it. The figure itself, very nicely as well. No real problems with it. Again, some very, very nice details in the actual moulding of it and things. And one of our members has actually done this one as well. So if you hang around for the gallery video at the end, there's a bit of one of his in there as well. So it looks absolutely fantastic. But generally, very, very nice indeed. So if you want to catch up with that one, as with all our reviews, just pop along to the actual review section. You just pop in here. We've got them all, obviously the reviews we've done recently, and obviously all the upcoming reviews. And we've obviously got a catalogue, back catalogue, the various ones of reviews of the thousands of the ones we've done now are available just up in here. Just over to a couple of housekeeping things as well. We've got a new postage system. As a lot of you know, we couldn't actually post to outside the UK because Royal Mail's computer system got hacked. And ransomware or something was put onto it. So we're using a different system now to do it. And actually what works out really nicely is that it's cheaper. So we can actually do UK 24 hours tracked and signed now for £3.95. EU as well, it's £9.23, and rest of the world is £12.80. And it's a faster way of getting it there to you as well. So we've got a new one in there as well. So new rates, its prices from, obviously if you go up, it's not much more to be honest when you're going up. The other latest thing, as I'm wearing as well, we have our hoodie is now available up in here. So the hoodie is available, it's £38. So, you know, but it is a good quality one, let's face it, as you can see here. And I've been wearing mine for the last just over a week and absolutely love it. I live in it, basically. So if you want to get yourself a hoodie, as with all our other merchandising, we do from, extra small right the way up to 5XL with these. So if you want to grab these, we've got our aprons, we've got our polo shirts, we've got our normal t-shirts as well. And also as well, because we've only got a handful left now, we've got 9 of our mugs left. So these are our limited edition yearly mugs. Obviously, normally they're only available to the members that have been, you know, before Christmas, but we have got a few left over now. So if anybody else would like a Flory mug, you can have our one for 2023, which was the Pigment Girl. And we will have another mug coming out back in the summer, which will be our standard Flory Models one as well. So that one will be coming out in the near future. But as you say, we do the mouse mat as well. So we've got the mouse mat with all the stickers, so the giant stickers as well. That's a standard size mouse mat, and the collector cards and everything else as well for just a tenner. So if you want to grab any of those things, you can grab those as well. Last up, over on the PM store, lots of bits and pieces have been going on in there. The book section, which is expanding all the time. As I said before, we've got, obviously, these are back in stock. They went out of stock for these ones. We've got the one now on the Hawkeye as well. So that's in there as well. Some great reference ones down in there and some great builds to follow along and to inspire you and give you a few little ideas. And the first of the Phantoms. So this is the Navy Marine ones, which is basically going from the B right the way up through to the S. And the RF4B for the naval version, the reconnaissance one. We're reliably informed they're also bringing out a few others as well for the Air Force. Apparently it's a trilogy of books coming out for these. But again, if you haven't seen any of these, they're actually really, really nice, these Phoenix ones. They've got some really nice model build-ups in there with loads of tips and tricks to get the best out of your Phantom. All right, as I said, our book section is expanding all the time over on the PM store. So if you want to have a look at any of those, they are available. Also, just to mention, if I can find it, there we go, VMS. I've got an area now with all the various ones down in here. So we've got the glues, the super glues, the flexi glues, all the rest of it. And we've got their finishing products as well. It's in its own little area now down in here. So we've got the matte, the satin, and the gloss down in here as well as there are other bits and pieces. So it's got its own section in the forum there. So if you want to grab any of those, we had a full restock of that in this week. So you can go off and grab that as well. Special offers and things. To say they're getting a light shake at the moment with some of the new things coming down in here. So as you can see, we've got some various various ones. We've got the B52 down in here. We've got the Black Widow. And again, we've got a couple of the Great Wall Hobbies flankers down in here, as well as the F15s and other ones, as you see. Some very nice ones down in here in 48th and in 72nd. So if you want to grab any of those ones, you can do. And of course, we've got the Zeros and the various ones down in here, and the sets from Edard, as well as Hobby 2000. So these are all on special. So if you want to grab any of these, you can go off and grab all of those right now. And that is about it for this week. Busy week with everything going on. And say next week will be a lot of fun because we're going to get this little lady into paint, which I'm really looking forward to getting it into some paint, getting into primer. That's always, I think, when the building phase is out of the way and you can get the more sort of artistic side, shall we say. So if you're a little bit like me, I don't mind doing the building, but it's nice to get the primer on because that's done then. And now you can just push on with it. But say it should be a lot of fun with this particular build as we make our way through. Next week, I've got these great trio of kits coming up with you. Been waiting absolutely forever to get my hands on a Meng Phantom, just so I can put it up against the Zucamori one, which we recently finished just before Christmas, so we can have a look at the differences between the two, because the Echo is out now as well. So we got, this is the G, the Wild Weasel, the F4E, the classic one, that is out and available now as well. The other one from Meng as well is the Mastiff. As I say, we've got the Mastiff 2 down in here. So again, it's great to see this kit has finally arrived. And also I've got a nice Stug as well, the latest one from Mini Art, so that looks really nice in there. So I've got some great kit reviews for you coming up next week as we make our way through. So anyway, that's about it from me this week. As always on a Friday, I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery. So until Monday, everybody, happy modelling, take care.
I was not ready to fall in like I'm wasted. My heart grows heavy. Don't taste me rushing and keep your words naked. You got me blushing, and you forever I'll follow. You'll be my holy ground. You forever I'll follow in immortality. I can see you and me in immortality. I can see you and me. You left me crying and running through a ghost town, alone and stranded. Why leave me hoping and guessing for the answers? No place stays forbidden, and you forever I'll follow. You'll be my holy ground. You forever I'll follow in immortality. I can see you and me in immortality. I can see you and me. My mind faded.